Tesla is often seen as an overnight success, a futuristic company that appeared out of nowhere and changed the car industry. But the truth is far darker, slower, and far more dangerous. Tesla survived multiple near-bankruptcies, brutal public criticism, and internal chaos. At several points, the company was weeks, sometimes days, away from collapse. It wasn't luck that kept it alive. It was relentless ambition, obsessive focus, and the willingness to risk everything when failure seemed inevitable. This is not just a story about electric cars. It's a story about risk, obsession, and betting everything on a future most people couldn't see. A future where the rules of business, engineering, and even manufacturing itself were rewritten in real time by a handful of people who refused to accept limits. To understand how Tesla became one of the most valuable companies in the world, you first have to understand how close it came to disappear entirely. You have to understand the sleepless nights, the last-minute pivots, the engineers who worked around the clock, the investors who lost faith, and the moments when one wrong move could have ended it all. Tesla is a story not just about a car company, but about what happens when vision collides with reality, when the impossible becomes a daily struggle, when the stakes are not just financial, but existential. Tesla was founded in 2003, long before electric vehicles were taken seriously. Gasoline cars dominated the world. Electric cars were seen as slow, ugly, and impractical. The industry's consensus was that gasoline-powered engines were superior in every way, and that electric cars would never be viable for mass adoption. There were countless failed electric car experiments in the decades prior. Some small companies tried, others folded quietly. Most automakers didn't even consider electric cars worth their time. They dismissed them as impractical experiments, nothing more than public relations exercises. The company wasn't founded by Elon Musk. It was started by engineers Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning, who believed lithium-ion batteries could change transportation. Their idea was simple, but risky. If laptops could run on lithium batteries, why not cars? Their ambition was to prove that electric vehicles could be practical, efficient, and desirable. At the time, almost no one agreed with them. Major automakers ignored the idea completely. Investors called it unrealistic. Critics scoffed at the notion that small, independent engineers could compete with decades of automotive expertise and massive corporate budgets. But Eberhard and Tarpenning pressed on, driven by conviction rather than profit, convinced that the world was on the brink of a transportation revolution. They spent months experimenting with battery chemistry, studying energy density, and running simulations that most people would consider dangerous or impractical. Every test carried a risk: overheating cells, short circuits, or catastrophic fires. Their work was meticulous, obsessive, and exhausting. And yet, despite the warnings from the industry, they refused to scale back their vision. They recruited a small team of engineers who shared their vision, each bringing expertise in fields that the auto industry had long neglected: computer science, battery chemistry, and lightweight materials. They worked in small labs, often improvising solutions with limited resources. Their challenge was not just technical, but psychological, convincing the world that a small company could challenge entrenched giants. Elon Musk entered the picture in 2004. Fresh off the success of PayPal, he invested millions of his own money into Tesla. Musk wasn't just a passive investor. He pushed aggressively for a vision far bolder than the original founders had conceived. He didn't want to build a small, practical electric car. He wanted to build a car people would dream about, a car that could turn skepticism into excitement. Musk's approach was different from traditional auto executives. Where most would plan meticulously and move cautiously, Musk demanded rapid innovation. Deadlines were tight, expectations high, and failure was not an option. He pushed the team to take risks that few companies would even consider, creating an environment where creativity and pressure existed in equal measure. That car was the Tesla Roadster, a sleek electric sports car designed to prove one thing: electric vehicles could be exciting. But ambition came with enormous risk. The Roadster was based on a Lotus chassis, but almost everything else had to be invented from scratch. Tesla used thousands of laptop battery cells wired together. It was innovative and extremely dangerous. Every assembly was a balancing act of engineering brilliance and fragile improvisation. One miscalculation could mean safety hazards, catastrophic failures, or a fatal blow to Tesla's credibility. Production was slow, expensive, and chaotic. Cars were hand-assembled. Parts didn't fit. Costs exploded. Deadlines were missed again and again. Investors grew nervous. Cash burned faster than expected. The engineers pushed themselves beyond exhaustion, solving problems in real time with limited resources and zero margin for error. They stayed awake for nights on end, working to keep production moving, improvising solutions to parts that had yet to be manufactured or tested. By the time the first Roadster shipped, Tesla had already spent far more than planned and delivered far fewer cars than promised. Test drive, every prototype revealed new challenges. Batteries overheated. Charging infrastructure was nearly non-existent. Tesla had to convince people not just to buy a car, but to believe in a future that the world had consistently rejected. It was more than manufacturing. It was a battle against perception. The Roadster also demonstrated an early lesson that would define Tesla. Innovation is messy, expensive, and uncertain. No process is guaranteed, no timeline reliable, no promise easy to keep. Every step forward came with the threat of catastrophic failure. Then came 2008. The global financial crisis hit. Funding dried up overnight. Tesla was running out of money fast. Suppliers demanded payment. Payroll was at risk. At one point, Tesla had less than $10 million left. That wasn't enough to survive another month. Elon Musk poured in the last of his personal fortune. He later said he had to choose between saving Tesla or SpaceX. Sometimes neither seemed possible. Employees slept at the factory. Executives worked without knowing if the company would exist the next week. Meetings ended with no decisions, only uncertainty. Most companies would have shut down. Tesla didn't. Instead of retreating, Musk pushed forward. He believed Tesla's real future wasn't sports cars. It was a mass-market electric sedan. That car would be the Model S, and it would either save Tesla or destroy it completely. During this period, every single decision carried monumental weight. Choosing a supplier could mean the difference between a functioning car and a factory fire. Any misstep could trigger investor panic or a technical disaster. Musk made decisions in hours that traditional companies would spend months debating. His vision was uncompromising, and that uncompromising vision kept Tesla alive when conventional wisdom said it should have died. The crisis also exposed internal conflicts. Engineers clashed over designs, executives debated resource allocation, and investors questioned the viability of Musk's bold approach. Each day required not only technical solutions, but leadership, persuasion, and the ability to maintain focus amid chaos. The Model S wasn't just a new car. It was a complete reinvention of what a car could be. A massive touchscreen replaced buttons. Software updates improved the car after purchase. Battery range beat every competitor. But behind the scenes, everything was breaking. Prototypes failed safety tests. Battery systems overheated. Engineers faced repeated failures. At one point, Model S battery packs caught fire during testing. Decisions had to be made instantly, and Musk demanded solutions faster than engineers thought possible. In 2012, the Model S launched. Expectations were low. Then the reviews came in, and they were shocking. The Model S won Car of the Year, Safety Awards, Performance Awards. Tesla wasn't just surviving anymore, it was winning. The company had proven that it could deliver on its promises, but success didn't make life easier. It made it harder. Tesla expanded too fast. New factories, new models, new promises. The Model X faced delays and mechanical issues. The Model 3 was supposed to save Tesla, but nearly killed it. Elon Musk called it production hell. And that wasn't exaggeration. Robots failed. Assembly lines stopped. Cars piled up unfinished. Employees worked brutal hours. Some slept in tents outside the factory. At one point, Musk personally slept on the factory floor, not for publicity, but because there was no other option. Every day was a battle against time, against physical limitations, and against the skepticism of the automotive industry. Musk's vision demanded not just engineering breakthroughs, but also logistical miracles. Management of scarce resources and the relentless motivation of a workforce pushed to its limits. Tesla made a decision no automaker had made before. They vertically integrated everything: batteries, software, charging infrastructure, AI systems. This gave Tesla control, and competitors couldn't keep up. Every component, from the smallest screw to the most sophisticated software update, became part of Tesla's strategy. It was a risk, a gamble, and a stroke of visionary thinking all at once. By 2020, Tesla wasn't just a car company. It was a movement. Its market value surpassed legacy automakers that sold millions more cars. Tesla proved that vision, risk, and persistence could outperform experience and tradition. Tesla almost failed because it tried to do the impossible. It succeeded for the same reason. The company didn't just change cars, it changed expectations. It forced the world to rethink what was possible in technology, engineering, and business. Every company, investor, and consumer began asking, if Tesla could do this, what else was possible? Tesla teaches us that innovation is painful, risk is uncomfortable, progress is rarely smooth. The company almost failed because it aimed for what seemed impossible, but it succeeded for the same reason. Tesla's story is also a lesson in leadership under pressure. Musk's willingness to put his own wealth, reputation, and energy on the line inspired an entire team to do the same. It is a story of calculated obsession, relentless problem-solving, and the willingness to fail publicly in pursuit of a vision. Every week, there are businesses that rise quietly, and others that collapse spectacularly, often because of one single decision. Tesla is a reminder that the difference between spectacular success and complete failure is sometimes a matter of relentless persistence, willingness to adapt, and a refusal to compromise on vision. On this channel, we break down those stories, not hype, not motivation, just the real moves that shaped billion-dollar companies. If you want more deep dives into the strategies, mistakes, and turning points behind the world's biggest businesses, make sure you're subscribed. New long-form stories are coming, and the next one might change how you see business forever.